Hey, I'm standing here in downtown Austin, Texas, one of the most explosive boom towns in the United States right now. And there are people asking all the time, maybe you're one of them, here in Austin, in Texas, and all around the country, are we in a real estate bubble? Well, stay tuned to find out. I got some really good information for you. My name is Scottie Campbell, founder of Waymaker Mortgage, and the goal of this video is to give you some information that will help you to make decisions about whether it's the right time for you to invest in purchasing a home or even refinance a home as we're looking at the values continuing to increase. You know, over the past year, we have seen double-digit growth in home values, which is crazy. That means the majority of Americans who own a home have more equity than they've ever had before, and the majority of folks who are trying to purchase a home are in the middle of some sort of a bidding war. It's been challenging out there in the market, and we're getting the question a lot as to whether we're in a bubble. Well, I have 3 reasons why I believe we are not in a real estate bubble. Number 1, back when we experienced the housing crash in 2007-8, drifted into even 9 and 10, and all of the fallout that happened from the financial crisis, mortgages were issued with very little verification. That means that folks were able to get mortgage simply on the merit of their credit score, or maybe even the fact that they owned a business. The stringent requirements to obtain a mortgage that exist today did not exist back then. Today, if you want to purchase a property, you have to qualify. The property itself must be appraised. The property must be looked at as to whether it's going to be qualified, acceptable collateral. And the buyer, the borrower, has to go through a stringent verification process known as underwriting in order for that mortgage to be issued. So for that reason alone, anybody who's purchasing a property right now using a mortgage vehicle as opposed to cash is going through a much more stringent qualification process. Those mortgages are not going to fail at anywhere near the rate that they did 15 years ago. The next thing we look at, number 2, the reason why I don't believe we're in a bubble, is because we have a supply and demand, also known as an inventory issue. Now, the big thing here is very simple. We have more people who want to buy homes than are available on the market. So what's that really mean to you? What's that really mean to me? Well, a lot of sellers over the past year and a half who would normally consider selling their home have maybe had some concerns about things like COVID-19 and other people coming through their homes, or maybe they've had concerns about where they're going to go or where they're going to buy. So there's less people selling homes, and yet more people want to buy homes. So because of that supply and demand issue, we have so many buyers out there who are looking to purchase a home, and that means that even though the values are increasing at a very rapid rate, we are not going to see any kind of a crash simply based on the fact that we need more housing inventory. And then the third thing that I really want to make clear is the topic of forbearance. Mortgage forbearance has been a big question, especially over the last 18 months. And you know, the idea of forbearance is very confusing to most folks. I'm going to break it down very simply. A mortgage forbearance is a relief of the payments for a period of time so that a family or an individual can kind of catch back up on their inability to make their payments. Well, during the course of the last 18 months, we've seen far less folks taking advantage of forbearance than the government initially projected. And we've seen, of those people, I think the statistic is over 90% of those who accepted forbearance, they came out of it with no problem. So that said, we don't really have an issue of a massive amount of foreclosures coming because people couldn't make their payments. Now, here's the other cool thing. If somebody had to go into forbearance or they weren't able to make their mortgage payments for some reason, they are able to sell their home for a record high value. Meaning, you take those 3 factors, you wrap them together, strong qualifications for a mortgage, a supply and demand issue that does not seem to be relenting anytime soon, and the fact that anybody who has had trouble making their payments is simply able to sell their home instead of let it go to foreclosure. We are not in a housing bubble. So I've got good news for you. If you are interested in investing in real estate, whether it be a home for your family or for yourself, whether it be building a real estate portfolio, there's truly no better time than the present to work on that, because as we are seeing an increase in value, it's obvious that there's an increase in cost. So, hey, if this has brought any value to you whatsoever, do me a favor, like it, comment on it, share it. Let's start a conversation and help folks to realize that now is a wonderful time to be investing in real estate ownership.